G'day everyone, DB93 here. Now, this one isn't in a specific video to Pete's, but it isn't in a specific video to Pete and Pete's, but more talking about a lot of the claims they make. Now, you may have noticed the title of the video, and what happens is Pete and Pete submit very, very long episodes. And during those episodes, they make a lot of different points. And a lot of them get sort of lost in the huge pool of claims that they make. Now, if you look back to some of the first videos that they were doing, which was on what they call calogenation, and they examine rust and etc., they say that when you heat something up, the molecules in it expand or move apart, creating these vacuous spaces, which for whatever reason is filled with oxygen. Now, they use that to support a lot of their claims. That's what they use to support their H2O claim, some of the more recent claims, they were sort of leaning on that for quite a while, and they've only just recently started talking about it again. Now, the problem with that is they recently started saying stuff like water is air and air is water. Now, where that gets complicated is they've gone to the extent to say that air is not a mixture of gases; it is only just water. So when you boil water, you can make air. Now, if any of you who have moved from an arid region to a tropical region and then back again, you know that humidity plays a factor here. And in some of P&P's videos, they've actually mentioned water, humidity, and air in the same sentence. So I don't know how they differentiate between the three. Okay, if they're all the same substance. Now, an easy way to sort of examine that claim is to open your fridge door, because your fridge is below the freezing point of water, so any water that's in the air, and if the air is made entirely of water, it would have frozen out of the atmosphere as a solid, made a vacuum, and you wouldn't be able to open your fridge door. But we all know you can. All right. Now, the problem with these two claims is, and you might have already picked up on it, is that if calogenation does what they say it does, and air is what they say it is, then where do they get the oxygen where does calogenation get the oxygen from? Because they say it takes it from the air, but then they say there's no oxygen in the air. And that's where they get their claims from photosynthesis as well. That because there's no oxygen in the air, then you don't, plants can't be respiring it. And because air is not a mixture of gases, we can't be exhaling carbon dioxide. So that's why I've got this romantic candlelit experiment. I don't have any smaller candles. This is one that my girlfriend got me. And I got this here. Now, we can examine P&P's claims very easily here. And the way we do that is that if we put this over the top and seal it, we'll have a look to see what happens. Now, just to recap, P&P say that they have said in a lot of their videos that fire needs oxygen, heat, and fuel. Now, they also say there's no oxygen in the air. So that begs the question, how are these burning right now? Now, some of them, or P&P themselves, may say that it's getting the fuel from the wax or the wick or both. Okay, and that's how this reaction is occurring. They may say that it doesn't need oxygen, it's just reacting with the air. Now, if there's no oxygen in the air and it's reacting with just the fuel and the wick or both, then it won't extinguish when I cover it. Now, if there is no oxygen in the air, but it's actually reacting with the air instead of oxygen, then this will create a vacuum and I won't be able to lift it off. It'll take the candle with it when I lift it off. Okay, because it will have consumed all the air. Okay? Now, the problem with that part there is that this is a chemical reaction occurring right here, these flames. And it's very easy to tell that it's a chemical reaction. Okay? So, if it's reacting with the air, what's it forming? Because it's mixing an element with something else. And that element is your aqua, or the air, or whatever. So what's it creating? And why is it reacting like this? Okay, so let's have a look and see what happens, shall we? They dwindle and die out. Now you can also see there's quite a bit of vapor on there, and they say that that's from the heat, but anyone who has had a look at, who know anything about how condensation forms, you know that heat doesn't cause condensation. A cold surface does. Now, if it's the heat that's causing condensation, if you stick this in the oven, it'll come out moist. But the fact of the matter is we don't see that, do we? Okay? So, where's this moisture coming from? So this surface would have been heated up very, very slightly. Like, I can touch it. So it's not that hot. In fact, I can't actually feel the temperature difference. So that's not it. Now, if it was because of the surface is cold, then this would have already had condensation on it. But we don't see that. In fact, a lot of the condensation's gone because we're actually in a drought. It's very arid here. There is no water in the air, so that's all just evaporated away already. So a lot of the claims don't make sense. They contradict themselves. Someone recently asked, and I will not confirm whether that is or not me. Someone recently asked that, you know, if calogenation introduces oxygen from the air into something, and you say that there's no air in there, then how is oxygen getting in through calogenation? And P&P replied with, "Now you're learning." Fucking what? What do you mean, now we're learning? Doesn't tell us anything. They're avoiding the question. Anyway, let me know what you think of the video in the comments. If you have any questions, feel free to comment or email me, and I'll see you next time.